It's finally here. College football is back. None of that week 0 stuff. It's officially the first week of college football, and I'm here to talk about it. Well, technically, not all the games have been played. There's still a Labor Day game, but it's going to be Notre Dame against Louisville. We all know who's going to win that game. Go Cardinals. So, yeah, let's talk about it. I think the biggest takeaway from this is, holy crap, I'm just so happy the sport is back. A lot of ups and downs for, Nebraska. Kind of weird, can't really get it in the shot. And Iowa State. Now, I'm not going to go fully in depth on those because I will be talking about them on Loud Sports, the Loud and Opinionated Sports Podcast. I'll definitely be going full bore there. So you're not going to get an entirely full rundown on the Nebraska and Iowa State. So just accept that, okay? I got another thing for that. And another change to the show. Usually I'd run down the whole top 10 and talk about them. I don't really want to do that because it's week 1. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to completely ditch that format, but just because week 1, not every team plays a tough opponent. Especially Alabama, who has had a track record of scheduling strong opponents, but because they do these things so many years in advance, they kind of got burnt by it last year when they played Louisville, and they're going to get burnt by it again this year by playing Duke. They won 42-3 because Duke's doesn't. I mean, even if they had Daniel Jones, it might have been like 42-17, maybe. So I mean, that scheduling wasn't the best. I'm also really annoyed that they played on a neutral site. Nick Saban, are you ever going to play an opening season game that isn't on a neutral site?
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Yes, I'm still using that stupid joke from last year. And then you have Clemson, who actually on Thursday played an ACC opponent, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I know I might anger some ACC fans out there. Clemson is the only team in your conference. I'm sorry. Maybe Miami, but there's a huge gap. There's Clemson, a gigantic, like Grand Canyon size gap, and then everybody else in the ACC. Don't get mad at me. Don't at me. You know it's true. And Georgia Tech, they're not the same team. Paul Johnson's gone. Who knows what they're going to be doing? So that's out of the question. I mean, Oklahoma had Houston, but again, this isn't the same Houston team that beat them a few years ago. There's no Tom Herman. There's Dana Holgorsen, which honestly, if you're going from Tom Herman to Dana Holgorsen, I still would take Tom Herman, even though I don't really think Texas is back. Definitely quote me on that one. They won their game too, but it was Louisiana Tech. You see what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of winners here. Ohio State played. God, who did Ohio State play? That's just proving my point. So the main things I want to be talking about today are something that I did not expect to be talking about at all. First up, let's talk about pretty much the main topic of today's show, the mighty Mountain West. The reason I say that is because the Mountain West won 4 games against Power 5 conferences. You're saying that's impossible. Jake, show your work. All right, here's Nevada against Purdue on Thursday night.
With 3 seconds left from 56 yards out. Does he have it? Yes, he does! Nevada wins at the gun! It's good from 56!
Which I saw the score at 31-17 at some point. I'm like, oh, Purdue's got it wrapped up. Guess not. That looks like a team that's going to be very much like 4th place in the Big Ten West. They look great. And then it keeps rolling because we have Wyoming against Missouri.
So if they get it to a 3rd down, we'll see. Chambers keeps it. Chambers finds a seam on the left side. It's wide open in Wyoming again.
And then Boise State down 31-13 at halftime. 23 unanswered points.
Mahone, and he gets an easily touchdown. Boise State. The Broncos have the lead. 19 straight points.
And you tend to forget this because a lot of people forget about week 0. Hawaii did this.
Late in the night, everybody at the table is all in. Tate.
They're going to take their shot here.
5 seconds.
He can go. He can go.
Roll.
He can do this.
He's going to have the lead. 10. He stops short. And Hawaii wins by a yard.
Every single one of those Mountain West teams were down double digits and found a way to win those games. The only team that couldn't come from behind and win was Fresno State against USC. I'm impressed with the Mountain West. I really am. I think going against competition. Now, I understand the teams that they played. I mean, you got Arizona, you've got Purdue, you've got Missouri, Florida State. These aren't the best teams in those Power 5 conferences. I totally understand that. But just simply the fact that they were down double digits in those games and all those teams managed to win those games says a lot about their conference and their conference depth. I'm actually very surprised that a group of 5 conference like this can handle a Power 5. Personally, I think the Mountain West should just replace the Pac-12 because the Pac-12 had another bad week. And Colorado beat Colorado State, but we'll get to the other one that I want to talk about. But again, going back to week 0, Arizona loses, and they've never just looked strong in any of their games. And the Pac-12 continues to worry me. Oklahoma State ran roughshod over Oregon State, but again, it's Oregon State. Laughing stock. And it just doesn't look good. I mean, USC won, but UCLA lost to Cincinnati. And so the Pac-12 has had a really bad week. And how bad of a week was it? Well, let's go to Saturday Night Football. And stop me if you heard this one on this show before, but Oregon had a strong chance to win a game, and they botched it. 15-point win, and they lost to freshman quarterback Bo Nix. Unbelievable. 15-point lead, you lose to Auburn. And again, Gus Malzahn. That's a guy that's going to go like 8-4. They got a tough schedule. I just can't believe that. How does this keep happening to Oregon? Another game where they had an over 90% chance to win the game. They managed to find a way to lose it and continue to hurt the Pac-12. It's a long season. I still think Justin Herbert is a potential Heisman candidate, and it's a long season. Or I think Oregon can rebound and possibly still win their division and win the Pac-12. But, oh, man, that's just on national television like that to just completely blow it when they dominated the whole game. The whole game they were dominating, and then they managed to lose. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Ugh. All right, so let's get to the Homer section. I know it's later in the episode, and this is probably a little bit longer of an episode. It's the first week, man. We got a lot of storylines going out there. So let's talk about Nebraska. Go Big Red. I'm sorry. I have to do it every time I talk about them. Nebraska took on South Alabama, and again, this is going to be a full breakdown. You got to listen to Loud Sports for that. But this is going to be a kind of overview of what happened. South Alabama comes in. Nebraska 9-1 against Sun Belt teams. Their only loss was last year against Troy. Troy was a good team. I'm trying to remove that from my brain. Anyway, the long and short of it is the defense and special teams carried Nebraska to a victory, and I don't think the Huskers have been able to say that in a long time. So, looking on the bright side of things, when your defense takes care of this, that's awesome. Negative side, Adrian Martinez I almost said Taylor Martinez, and if you're a Husker fan, you know what I'm talking about and how scary of a Freudian slip that is. When Adrian Martinez has all the hype going behind him into this game leading up to this, it sucks that he doesn't have the game that you wanted. But they still won, and they won by 2 touchdowns. I think people tend to forget that because they were a 30, almost 40-point favorite in this game. So granted, they didn't play up to their expectations, but it's the first week. You improve the most from week 1 to week 2. Same thing for Iowa State. Holy cow, UNI, props to them. They are a very strong FCS school, but if you're Iowa State and you're still on the rise, it's not going to look good for you when you're currently the dark horse that can maybe win the Big 12. Doesn't help your case when you have to go 3 overtimes in FCS school, but they still won the game, and they still have a bye week going into playing Iowa for the Cyhawk game. I will be at the Cyhawk game, so expect some field reports at some point for this show at the Cyhawk game. Depends on how drunk I'm going to get. So that was week 1 of college football. I can't wait for the rest of the season, man. I'm just excited. A lot of stuff happened. Big shout out to the Mountain West. I honestly think we should put out an idea. We take the Power 5, we take the Group of 5, right? And I think the worst team from the Power 5 gets dropped down to a Group of 5, and the best team from the Group of 5 gets moved to the Power 5. Just saying, it's an idea. We could take out the Pac-12, put in the Mountain West. I'm here for it. I really am. So props to them. And a matter of fact, Mountain West, I said so much nice things about you. I'm going to keep doing it. I have a new segment for this week. That's right. The best of the week is obviously the Mountain West, beating 4 Power 5 schools. All 4 wins came from double-digit deficits. Managing to do that is incredible. Only one of them was on the road, but still, congratulations, Mountain West. You're the best of the week. And now we do the same segment we had last year, and this is the first ever 2-time winner for Hack of the Week. I got to give it to Oregon. National television, your conference needs this. It was a big game, not for you, but also for your conference, and you're a bunch of quacks. So congratulations to Oregon. You finally won something. The 2-time Hack of the Week winners. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the College Football Hangover. I love doing this show. I hope you love watching it. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't, but you're probably like a Hawkeye fan if you did. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell so you get notified when you see this show, or you see Loud Sports, or you see the Batcast, or Super Cynical Cinema. Any show that's on Loud and Opinionated, you'll get that notification. Thanks so much, and I will see you next week.